Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Flow Life Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley. Today, I'm diving into something super exciting, but a bit nerdy. But don't worry, y'all, I promise to make it fun. I'm going to talk about how the mind and the brain work and why understanding this is so important in our healing journey. But before I get into all the science of things, I am going to first touch on an essential piece of the puzzle, and that is forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Because at the end of the day, let's be real, we can't move forward in understanding our brain or our anatomy unless we've cleared that emotional clutter that holds us back. Let's get started. I know that I've been talking about forgiveness a whole lot recently, but trust me, it's for a good reason. Before I dive into the brain, I want to emphasize just how essential it is to clear out any emotional baggage. So I want you to think of your mind as a clean canvas. If it's filled with resentment, guilt, or anger, it's like trying to paint a beautiful picture on a canvas full of scratches and smudges. And that's just not going to work, all right? That's just a hot mess. Forgiveness isn't just about letting others off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the chains that hold you in the past. It's about releasing the negative energy that keeps you stuck. And if you're still hanging on to old mistakes or things that have happened to you, your brain is most likely still living in that stressful moment. And when you're in stress mode, you cannot think clearly, and let alone you will not even be able to heal. Clearing out the old emotional clutter will set you up for the amazing things that we are about to talk about today. If you haven't yet, take a moment to forgive yourself first. All the things that you wish you have done differently, forgive yourself, friend. And all the stuff that others have done to you, trust me, I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating. I am speaking from experience. Just forgive them. Friend, forgive them. It ain't even about them, it's about you. It's about you. And if you care about you and if you love yourself, forgive those folks. And yes, I know it's hard. But in this space of forgiveness, we are able to unlock the potential for our growth, for our higher healing, and for the understanding of how our amazing bodies work. Now, let's jump into the science of it. This is the exciting part, the part that I love. So, grab your virtual lab coats because here we go, y'all. Don't worry, I'm going to make this digestible, I promise. So, let's talk about the brain, y'all. The brain, it's this super cool, squishy organ in our heads that control pretty much everything that we do. You could think of it as our central processing unit of our bodies. It's kind of like the motherboard of your computer, but 1,000 times cooler because it manages your emotions, your thoughts, your actions, and even your body functions. The brain doesn't just process information, it reacts to information. And depending on what emotion or experiences that you're holding on to, your brain reacts in many different ways. So let me give you an example. Let's talk about dopamine. You've probably heard me talking about dopamine if you've been following me on social media. Dopamine is this feel good chemical. Dopamine is released when we do something rewarding, like when we're celebrating a birthday, we are eating cake, or if we hit a goal, or even if we've just given someone a big hug. It's basically like your brain's way of saying, hey, that was really awesome. Let's do that again. I love this feeling. Let's stay here. You see, dopamine is a big player when it comes to our motivation and, yes, even our pleasure. When you're stuck in a negative emotions like guilt, anger, or shame, your brain isn't producing enough dopamine to keep you motivated or even positive. So instead, you're more likely to experience cortisol, also known as the stress hormone. Now, cortisol, it's not always bad because it actually can be helpful for us, but only in like short bursts. So, cortisol levels, they help you fight or flight. And that's basically saying if you're in a dangerous situation, it's helping you fight or flee that dangerous situation. But when it's constantly activated due to your stress or the emotional turmoil that you're experiencing, that's when your cortisol levels can become a problem. You see, too much cortisol messes with your immune system, it messes with your sleep, and it even impacts your memory. It's like constantly being on high alert when you don't need to be. And that's super exhausting. That's where a lot of times we're feeling fatigued, we're feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated. But the good news is that when you are able to forgive yourself and forgive others, you have already completed step 1, that you have cleared out that emotional clutter. Your brain can then switch back to a balanced state. You start producing more dopamine, which makes it easier to focus, easier to feel positive, and you are able to experience joy. So I know you're probably wondering, well, Ashley, how does my brain health tie back to my inner healing? Well, that's the first step to releasing your emotional baggage. Your brain health and your emotional healing, they have to coexist together. That's why I have spent so much time in creating podcast episodes on my platform about forgiveness, about self forgiveness, and adding in some guided meditations because the goal and the mission that I am on is to help you keep your brain healthy and balanced. So I need you to always think of your brain as a muscle because it actually is. And if you want it to work at its best, just like when you go out to the gym and you want to see those beautiful muscles, you need to give it the right kind of fuel and rest. I want to talk to you about 4 ways that I have done myself personally that have helped boost my brain health. And I know for a fact that these can also benefit you in your life as well. Number 1, the big key takeaway I need you to incorporate in your life is rest. Friend, your sleep is so important. You need to go and take a nap. You need to go lay down. You need to go to sleep. Let your brain clear out all the waste. You see, when you are sleeping, you are able to strengthen your memories and you are able to better process your emotions. So, if you are not sleeping well, it's time to focus on getting some quality rest. All right, we are leaving hustle culture. So, we are getting our full 8 hours. And, baby, if you want to do a little extra, go ahead and get you a little bit more hours past that 8 hours. Do what you gotta do. You deserve rest. Rest is a luxury, but it also needs to be a part of your daily life. The second thing that I absolutely love is exercise. Basically, any physical activity is like a reset button for your brain. So you don't have to be in the gym and lifting weights. You can go play a sport, you can dance, do something to move your body, any physical activity. Because when you move your body, it reduces stress hormones and it promotes the release of dopamine and it increases the growth of new brain cells. So, whether it's taking a walk, doing some yoga, and even dancing it on out, your brain and your body will thank you later. The third way that you can boost your brain health is something that I really, really love. I know I say I really love everything on this list, but this one for real, this has been a really game changer. I started back in like 2023, maybe like the end of 2022 beginning 2023, I started getting into more meditation and mindfulness. So if you go back on my previous episodes, you'll be able to see and take some guided meditation. This practice, it really helps your emotions and it creates a safe space for your healing. And by practicing mindfulness, you are able to reduce the mental clutter and help your brain shift from a fight or flight mode to a more calm and balanced state. I know it's hard for a lot of us to sit still, But that right there indicates a problem. If you cannot sit still for 10 to 15 minutes in total silence without looking at your phone, without talking, definitely look within to understand why is that so hard for you. And I guarantee once you start, and just take baby steps, you can start from as short time as 5 minutes. If you're a beginner, start with 5 minutes of meditation, work your way to 10 minutes, and then boom, you'll be able to work yourself up to 15 minutes and beyond. But it's going to take practice. It's going to take practice. So look at it like this. You have trained your body to partake in so many different habits. You have trained your body to do things every single day without you even thinking like, hey, I'm training my body. Like the first thing you do when you wake up, what do you do? Do you reach and grab for your phone? Or do you get up and you go take a shower first? What do you do? Focus on your habits and understand too that it's not going to be easy at first when you're trying to incorporate these new healthy habits, but trust and believe just as much time as it took you to always reach for your phone or do those unhealthy habits that you do in the morning, it's going to take that same time and commitment to go and instill new healthy habits for yourself. So always remember to give yourself grace and know that you deserve time to regulate your emotions. So I want to encourage you. I strongly suggest add meditation and mindfulness to your everyday routine. Start off 5 minutes in the morning. Just do it. No excuses. The fourth thing that I really realized, and I struggled with this in my healing journey, was my relationship with food. Having a healthy diet isn't about following what's trendy. It's not about following all the fads that's going on. It's really about your relationship with food because the food that you eat directly impacts your brain health. The food that you put inside your body affects everything. So make sure that you are educating yourself, reading labels, and you are picking foods to eat that are real foods. Limit and stop the processed foods. And eat more foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Eat foods that are antioxidants, foods that are filled with vitamins. And when I say omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants and vitamins, visualize food that is leafy green, colorful foods when it comes to berries, red, blue, purple, fish, protein. Eat real foods. I know it's hard for some folks to cut out the sweets and the processed foods. That's why I said try to limit your intake. But if it was up to me, baby, cut that thing off right now. As you're listening to this episode, cut out all fake and processed and bioengineered foods. We should only be eating foods that are going to support a healthy brain function if we want to live well, if we want to live a balanced life, and not only when it comes to food, when it comes to the things that you are drinking, y'all know hydration is the key. And what comes along with that is drinking your water and minding your business. That ain't never got anybody into any issues, all right? Eating some of this food then got us into some issues. We done got into some illnesses, we done gained a little weight. We done did some things that we shouldn't have been doing, eating some foods and drinking some drinks that we shouldn't have been eating and drinking. But baby, when you drink your water and mind your business, you're gonna spend so much time going back and forth to the bathroom to pee. You don't got time to worry about anybody else other than you and your health. So drink up and nourish your brain. So as I wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with a challenge that can help you identify areas of your life where you might be experiencing dopamine highs or high cortisol levels. These are the areas where you can start to make changes and create a healthier and more balanced life. So, here's your challenge for the week. I want you to take a moment and reflect on different parts of your day. I want you to think about when you feel that rush of excitement or pleasure. What activities or habits trigger a dopamine high for you? Is it social media? Is it junk food? Or is it instant gratification moments? I want you to notice how these moments make you feel. Be honest about your feelings, both right after and in the long term. On the flip side, think about the times when you're stressed, the times you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious. Those moments are when your cortisol levels spike. Grab your journals and document. Are you experiencing these feelings during your day? Is it during your work deadlines? Is it during family conflicts? Or maybe just the constant pressures of everyday life? Recognize what your triggers are because awareness is the first step towards your healing. Now, here's where the action comes in. I want you to choose one of the four ways that we talked about today to boost your brain health. Whether it's taking a nap to give your body and mind a chance to rest, getting motivated with some form of exercise to balance your dopamine, or practice meditation to reduce your stress and lower your cortisol levels, or choose a healthy meal or snack to nourish that beautiful body of yours and support a balanced dopamine level for yourself. Write all this down in your journal. It's for you. Reflect on where you've identified those high and stress points. And then write out your thoughts on how you can shift these patterns. You see, staying committed to this process, it is not going to be easy, especially when life tries to knock you off balance. But trust me, my friends, consistency is key. Just show up for yourself every single day. Keep going on the tough days. Your healing is a journey, and every step forward, it counts. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about making small, intentional changes that add up over time. So take this challenge to heart, write it down, stay committed, and keep pushing through. I believe in you, and I'm so excited to see how this journey unfolds for you. All right, so let's recap. Before we dive deep into understanding the anatomy of our bodies, we've got to give ourselves the emotional space to heal. And that starts with forgiving ourselves for the things that we've done and the things that we've endured in the first step in the journey. When you clear that emotional clutter, your brain will start to function better, and then you can tap into the healing and growth process more effectively. Understanding how your brain works, the balance between dopamine and cortisol levels, that's the importance of our brain health. It's like having the ultimate cheat code of life. It's not about knowing science or being a science major like myself. It's just about using it to live a healthier, happier, more balanced life. When you forgive and when you heal emotionally, you create the space for your brain to thrive. So, my friends, let's continue this journey together. Flow family, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and always forgive yourself and forgive others. I'm excited to continue this journey of healing with you all. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'll be back with some more tips and tools to help you live your healthiest, happiest, most balanced life. And don't forget to subscribe, share, and let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned for next week's episode, where we will dive even deeper into how you can heal your body from the inside out. Take care of yourself. Remember that you are worthy of the peace and balance that you are working towards. Stay grounded and take care of that beautiful brain and that beautiful body of yours. Until next time, remember that you too can flow through this thing called life. Check you next time.